Lalpura ji, my friend Manmohan Singh ji, General KJ Singh, so many other people, some familiar, some whose names I don't know, but obviously very eminent personalities.
Chairman of the Indian Minorities Commission, Dr. Jain, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Professor Sethi, and my friend General KJ Singh, who should have been sitting along with us, but I don't know why he's not here. And all the members of the faculty and friends. First of all, I thank Mr. Lalpura for inviting me to this seminar, and it is his persuasion that has brought me here, because after retirement from Manipur, I had almost taken a vow that I am not going to appear on any TV channel, not take part in any seminar, not give any speeches anywhere, except for writing occasionally for the Tribune, of which I am a trustee. And I have stuck to that. Channels never. Seminars, besides this, maybe one or two. But Iqbal Singh and I go back a long way. We have served together in various capacities, and even after our service periods, we have continued to be in touch. Although I have retired in the full sense of the word, but he has gone on to take even a more proactive career. All through, he was a very dedicated worker and an original thinker, whether it was police work or it was other work handed over to him. And it seems today that on the stage we are in a majority. Dr. Manmohan Singh is from the police, so is Mr. Lalpur, and so am I. So, but I hope you see the better side of the image of the police force. Mr. Satpal Jain is a very odd mixture of a politician. That's what I'm saying, of a politician, a very well-known lawyer, and of course a very renowned university administrator. You all have heard the passionate, I would call it a speech of Professor Sethi, and closing my eyes, I could see her at the forefront of the French Revolution raising these slogans. And maybe all these, the rights for women, I think she sounded like a full-blown activist. That is what one should be, whatever capacity one is working. That passion should never be lost. And that passion is something we talk about today. I don't intend to take much of your time because there are better speakers ahead. But the very concept of majority and minority doesn't sit well with me. Why should we have separated these two right at our freedom's birth? Why call a certain section of society minority, and why call a majority a majority? Population figures are known to everyone, and we know who the majority is, and which are the minorities. Then we have not stopped at that, and we are not stopping even today. We have divided and subdivided our society further into castes, into subcastes, into SC, minorities, tribals, OBCs, very poor OBCs, creamy layers. I don't know, I think every individual is now categorized into something or the other. That is not the way to move ahead for a country of our size and our background. What we needed was to forget these divisions. We are creating fresh ones. We are Indians first and last. That was the thing which came out in the freedom movement. Nobody thought of a Bengali freedom fighter or a Punjabi freedom fighter or a South Indian freedom fighter. We were all Indians fighting under the leadership of a great man, a great soul, with whom others across the country were associated, and built up a movement which forced the empire on which they said the sun never sets. That empire had to finally withdraw due to our peaceful agitation, and because we united as Indians, we did not fight them on caste lines, we did not fight them on religious lines. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, lower caste, higher caste, everybody joined the national movement. And that is why the national movement succeeded. Today also we will succeed much faster if we again bring back that spirit which prevailed from the 20s to 47, 48. That spirit has to come back, and it is for a very visionary leadership to bring back the spirit. The whole idea of dividing and subdividing has to be given up. Today, again we are fighting over quotas. Somebody wants a caste census, somebody wants a census on other grounds, somebody says 63% are OBCs, others say no, that is not correct, it is 47% or whatever. But the idea is, what is the motive behind this? I am digressing a bit from the question of minorities, but the idea is that all these are minorities, if you want to so call them. Why don't you make the effort to bring them all up and be a part of the majority? We don't need anything else. And the interaction with students, today here, or interactions anywhere else, should be on different lines. Because I personally feel that all this talk, all these debates, unfortunately Parliament has stopped debating, which should be the forum of foremost debates. The best parliamentarians, the best speeches of the first 30, 40 years were from. There was no speaker better than Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And everybody listened to him with respect. There was Hiran Mukherjee. There was Jawaharlal Nehru himself. There were so many others from all the parties. There was Bindu Modi, there was Minu Vasani. Talk of anyone. The debates in Parliament even today are worth listening to, as the war speeches of Churchill. You don't have to hear Churchill, you read him and you get aroused. So, we might debate here, we might interact here, I might say some good words over here, but the end result will come only through action. It will not come through growth. even in this elections that are going to take place. I don't see any mention of any economic policy, any internal security policy, any external policy. It's all about competitive dose. I will give cylinder free, I will make it 400 rupees, I'll make it 300 rupees. I will give dal free, I will give chawal free. Now this is not how a country develops. Marx called religion the opiate of the masses. I would call that today's equivalent of that is that these freebies are the opiate of our masses. They wait for them, and they don't expect employment to come. So they're very happy with whatever they get free from the government, state government, central government, any government. I'm reminded of an incident when I was the EJK police. We had gone to Udhampur for some function in the police academy. The Chief Minister, Dr. Farooq Abdullah. He's a very versatile man. He may have his drawbacks. Many people like him, many dislike him. He's a controversial figure. But as far as I was concerned, he was a very helpful person, an administrator who never interfered in my work, and who was very good company if he felt that you had no problem. If you went with a problem to him, then he was very sulk. He went into a sulk. But if you went to him otherwise, he was very good. So we were traveling, he said, come, let me drive, and you sit with me, we'll talk on the way. We started driving. Well, those of you who have been to Mata Vaishno Devi and driven from Jammu to Mata Vaishno Devi, you'll see all along the parapets, monkeys are sitting. And all the yatris going, somebody throws a banana, somebody throws a loaf of bread, somebody throws something. And the monkeys keep on sitting from morning to night, waiting for that. So Farooq pointed out the monkeys and said, Didi Sahab, ye dekh rahe ho? So I said, yes, they are always there every day. He said, nahi, kuch soch ke batao. Better I have no thoughts on the subject. He said, we Kashmiris have made beggars of our monkeys also. He said they will sit here the whole day waiting for a banana. They will not go to the forest to forage. As wild animals forage, they go and find their food. So this was the effect of that also. Similarly, on a serious note, we all keep on waiting as to what the government will give us in kind or in cash. Whereas what we should be asking for, as I see it, the only remedy for all our ills is a good educational system, a good health system, and at the end of which there is employment. At the moment, every state is announcing some other schools. All why don't we have a quality school in every village or in every 10 villages? And we have qualified teachers, well qualified teachers who don't use this medium as a last resort. And then pay them well and let them teach and see to it that health begins from the childhood onwards. Not when they becoming good at things, then you start giving them 2 eggs and a glass of milk. So that is important. Education, health, whether for the minority or the majority, I equate all of them. Minorities you might concentrate on, and in minorities I include the poor of the land. Whatever religion, whatever caste they belong to, they are the minority. They are the real minority, the uneducated, the poor, the unwashed. They are the majority. And they are the minority and they should be strengthened through proper schooling, through proper health facilities, and at the end of it there must be a job. If there is no job, and then you have the whole police force of the country hunting drug addicts and or tracing drug groups, what is the option then? The Punjab's youth today, I came across a person yesterday whose relative had paid 40 lakhs each for 2 children to sending them to America via that whole donkey route that they call. Finally entered Mexico and then you, at God's mercy. See, nobody goes out of love of adventure. It's a very miserable life that they go through when they go from here. Their parents sell everything off and then they pay for their jobs. Then they pay for their tickets. And then half of them come back. And they have a terrible time over there. It's not that jobs are waiting for them. You go to Heathrow Airport, it's full of Indians, all the meanest staff. You go to Chicago, you go to any place, you feel bad. Why are they leaving this country? Because there are no jobs. They've faced, I don't blame the government, I blame the private sector. They are the sector which should have created jobs. They are the sector which should have created infrastructure. If we expect government to do everything, it's not possible. Government can build roads, government can build better airports, they can build better seaports, they can help build infrastructure, better steel, better electricity, all these things. But the real employment has come when private sector puts in its bid, not its bid. The majority of investment should come from the private sector into India. Otherwise, we are, I won't say doomed, otherwise we are going to wait for these doors and we are going to wait for government action. So, to be brief and sum up, whatever Mr. Lalpura's commission is doing for the minorities is worthwhile. It's very good work for communities which are depressed, which are economically distressed, to bring them up and see that they also become a part of the mainstream. And you become a part of the mainstream when you have a job, when you have a shelter and you have food. You are mainstream. When you are without shelter, without food, without education, without health facilities, then you remain a minority or you remain whatever you call yourself. The majority that we say that it is a majority, that majority is also not self-sufficient in these things. Most of the majority also suffers from these problems. And when I say education, I say health, I say employment, it is for everyone, whether it's majority or minority. All suffer equally. So I congratulate the chairman of the Minority Commission who has started this program of interaction with the youth and especially with the university faculty also. Because the two go together. Like, I'm sure if the faculty gets up and has these smaller interactions with their students in addition to whatever else they're teaching, it will send a message. But at the end of it, there has to be a job. If there are no jobs, then we remain where we are. So, sorry, if I have caused offense in any way to anyone, I'm sorry, but I've spoken from the heart and I feel that those are the things which are important and they can be done through the Minority Commission, it can be done through the government, it can be done through the private sector. let us all put our shoulders to the wheel and do something. I thank everyone for being patient. Thank you.
सरदार गुरबचन जगत जी, मैडम रुबीना सेठी जी, मनमोहन सिंह जी, मैं हिंदुस्तान के माइनॉरिटी कमीशन के चेयरमैन सरदार प्रेम सिंह लहरपुरा जी का बहुत धन्यवादी हाँ, जिन्होंने आज पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी के उत्ते इस विषय पे यूथ एंड नेशन बिल्डिंग रोल ऑफ माइनॉरिटीज इस मौके पे जो एकत्रता इकट्ठी की है, मैंने ये ध्यान का सारी संगत के दर्शन करने का ते अपनी गल सुनने का, अपनी गल कहने का ते दूसरों की गल सुनने का मौका दिता है। मैं जैन परिवार पैदा होया, क्रिश्चियन हाई स्कूल चों एजुकेशन ली, गुरुद्वारे के कोल मेरा घर है और पाकिस्तान जाने का मौका मिले, उर्दू जबान थोड़ी बहुत सीखने का मौका भी स्कूल के दौरान मिले। तो मैं कई बार सोचता कि अगर मेरी आइडेंटिफिकेशन होए तो मैं कितने माइनॉरिटी होवांगा तो कितने मेजोरिटी होवांगा, ये शायद उस पर डिपेंड करेगा कि किस स्थान पे किहड़े इशू पे तुसीं बोल रहे हैं। खैर जो भी कंसैप्ट है हिंदुस्तान जो है, मैं सिर्फ 2-3 छोटे पॉइंट कहना चाहूँगा। साडा मुल्क, सारे हिंदुस्तान, सारा मुल्क साडा दुनिया में किसी मुल्क नाल तुसीं मुकाबला कर लो, साडे वर्गा मुल्क किते नहीं है, साडे वर्गा मुल्क किते नहीं है। हिंदुस्तान के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने मेजोरिटी वर्ड डिफाइन नहीं किया, माइनॉरिटी का शब्द इस्तेमाल किया और माइनॉरिटी भी आर्टिकल 28, 29, 30 रिलीजन या लैंग्वेज दोनों के बेस पर किया कि जो भी रिलीजन के बेस पर माइनॉरिटी है ने या जुबान के है ने, उन्होंने अपने हकूक रखने का, अपनी एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन कायम करने का उन्हों का हक है, साढ़े हिंदुस्तान के संविधान ने दिता है। मैनू नहीं लगता किसी होर दुनिया के मुल्क के किसी तरीके का प्रावधान संविधान के अंदर किया हुआ। पहली बात तो ये कि अपनी बात चाहे माइनॉरिटी में है चाहे मेजॉरिटी में है कहना सीखिए। द्रौपदी के चीरहरण का जिक्र किया, एक विदुर था जिसने खड़े होकर ऑब्जेक्शन किया था, आज तक इतिहास उसको याद करता है। जब गुरु साहब के बच्चों को फतेहगढ़ साहब में किले में जिंदा दबाने लगे थे तो एक वहाँ का मुसलमान राजा था जिसने प्रोटेस्ट किया था, जिसको आज तक सिख समाज उसका रिगार्ड करती है, उसका आदर करती है। सही बात कहने की हिम्मत अगर हम में नहीं है तो चाहे माइनॉरिटी में है चाहे मेजॉरिटी में है, हमें इंटेलेक्चुअल कहलाने का कोई हक नहीं है अगर हम सही को सही और गलत को गलत नहीं कह सकते। नंबर 2, आप में से बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हम सब एक संविधान को मानने वाले हैं। आर्टिकल 51A, आर्टिकल 51A जो है वो हिंदुस्तान के हर आइन ने हर नागरिक को फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज़ दी हैं। पहले नागरिक अधिकार होते थे, अब फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज़ भी आ गई हैं। उसके अंदर एक ड्यूटी क्या है, टू स्ट्राइव फॉर अचीविंग एक्सेलेंस इन ऑल वॉक्स ऑफ लाइफ। यानी आप माइनॉरिटी में हैं या मेजॉरिटी में हैं, जिस भी फील्ड में है टॉप पे रहिएगा। टीचर हैं तो टॉप के टीचर, हाउसवाइफ हैं तो टॉप की हाउसवाइफ, पीएन है तो सबसे बेहतरीन पीएन, स्टूडेंट तो सबसे बेहतरीन स्टूडेंट। ये आज हम सबकी फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी है, ये हमारे हिंदुस्तान ने हमको दी है। तो हम सब मिलकर अगर इसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं तो मैं समझता हूँ कि बहुत बड़ा हमारा पर्पस सर्व होगा। अभी आपने 1-2 लाइनें सुनाई, मान लीजिए एक टेम्पररी डेफिनेशन होती है, अदरवाइज तो सारे हम नागरिक हैं। हमारे यहाँ कुमार विकल पोइट हुए हैं बहुत बड़े, मैडम ने सुनाई तो मैं 4 लाइनें मेरे याद आ गई। ये जो सड़क पर खून बिखरा है, ये देख कर बताओ ये किसका खून है, इंसान का, जानवर का, बहन का या भाई का, हिंदू का या मुस्लिम का, सिख का या ईसाई का। ये सारा जो बॉन्ड है हमारा ये कॉमन है। इसको मानते हुए अगर हम चलते हैं, दूसरे को टॉलरेट करते हैं तो बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं। काफ़ी मेरी उन्होंने तारीफ़ की, मैं तो सिर्फ गुरबाणी का वो शब्द हमेशा याद रखता हूँ, तू जागे अरदास हमारी जियो सब पिंड तेरा, कौन नानक सब तेरी बढ़ियाई, कोई नाम ना जाने मेरा। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद।
मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ माइनॉरिटीज़ ਦੀ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल और पोलिटिकल फिलोसफी च लेके नहीं जाना चाहता, बिकॉज इट इज़ वेरी ऑब्वियस फील्ड और एवरीबॉडी नोज what are the ingredients the concept of minority carries, or what are the constitutional provisions in the Constitution of India. However, if we see the Section 2C of the National Commission of Minorities Act of October 23rd, 1993. It notified 5 groups of Muslims, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, and later on they incorporated Jains also. And in the constitutional structure of India, minorities play very important role in nation building, because our society is not a monolithic society. It is plural, multi-layered, multi-pulse society which are having various contours of manifestation. But all these contours have been integrated by our constitutional provisions.
नमस्कार, जय हिंद, नमो बुद्धे, जय जिनेंद्र, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, खुशामदीद, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। क्योंकि मैं सारे धर्मां दा ही नुमाइंदा है, इस करके सारे धर्मां वालों ही तुहानूं वैलकम करना है। अज दा ये सैमीनार क्यों किया गया और चंडीगढ़ चों ही क्यों किया है, ये बारे मैं तुहाडे नाल थोड़ी सांझ पानी चाहांगा। इस स्टेज ते विराजमान मेरे गुरु समान, बुजुर्ग पिता समान श्री गुरबचन जगत जी, फॉर्मर गवर्नर मणिपुर, उन्होंने दे बारे बहुत कुछ कहा गया जिहड़ा लोकां दे कागजां दे विच है, लेकिन एक इंसान के रूप में एक आम व्यक्ति नूं एक अच्छा इंसान किवें बनाउणा है, इन्हां तो वध कोई नहीं जानता। इन्हां तो ईमानदारी एज अ पुलिस अफसर इन्हां तो अगे खत्म सी। कोई व्यक्ति सारे कैरियर च इन्हां दे उत्ते एक उंगली नहीं चुक सकता कि इन्हां बारे सोच भी नहीं सकता कि इन्हां ने किसी ऑनेस्ट आदमी नूं सपोर्ट भी किया होएगा। उस तो बाद एक ऐसा पुलिस अफसर जिन्हें बिना डंडे तो ही अमन कानून बहाल रखा और सारी सिचुएशनस नूं हैंडल करना इन्हां तो अच्छे ढंग नाल कोई नहीं जानता। भावें पिंडरां वाले नूं मिलना होवे, भावें उन्हां नूं इस गल लई राजी करना होवे कि मैं अपना मैमोरेंडम कोतवाली आके दे दियांगा। जगत साहब तो एक इतिहास का हिस्सा ने जिन्हां तो सब नूं समां कढ के इन्हां तो सीखना चाहिए। जदों देश आज़ाद होया, साडी majority population जिन्होंने असी कहते हैं 50% एंड प्लस इज़ majority एंड less than 50% इज़ minority। तो minority population इंडिया 16% सी और majority population 84% सी। ये 1951 के सेंसिस है, तुहाडे सारिਆਂ कोल इंटरनेट हैगा, तुसीं टैलीफोन ते देख सकते हो। लेकिन 2011 की सेंसिस दे विच जिहड़े सेंसिस ये दसदे है कि मेजॉरिटी पॉपूलेशन घट के 79% हो गई और मिनोरिटी पॉपूलेशन वध के 21% हो गई। ये साडा देश ही है, होर किसी देश इस तरह नहीं होया। दूजे पासे साडा आंढ गुआंढ देख लो, किसी वेले श्री भीम सेन सच्चर ते जोगिंदर नाथ मंडल ये समझ गए कि असी पाकिस्तान च रवांगे। उत्थे जदों देश आज़ाद होया तो मिनोरिटी पॉपूलेशन 21% सी, जिहड़ी 51 दी उन्हां दे सेंसिस है। अज उत्थे मिनोरिटी पॉपूलेशन 4% है, वेयर आर दी अदर 18%। उत्थे जिहड़ा तुहाडा बंगलादेश, उत्थे मिनोरिटी पॉपूलेशन 24% सीगी, अज उत्थे घट के 9% रह गई, 8.9% है प्रसाइजली। बाकी 15% कित्थे चले गए। जे थोड़े दिन पहला एक पाकिस्तान का प्लेयर है दिनेश कनेरिया, उहदा इंटरव्यू दे रहा सी क्रिकेट प्लेयर कि मैनू बार बार मजबूर किया जा रहा सी कि तू अपना धर्म परिवर्तन कर लै। यूनस हन्ना नू पाकिस्तान का कैप्टन बनने लई ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਯੂਨਿਸ ਬਣਨਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਰਲਡ ਕੱਪ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਓਪਨ ਕੌਣ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ? ਸ਼ੁਭਮਨ ਗਿੱਲ, ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ। ਤੇ ਬੋਲਿੰਗ ਓਪਨ ਕੌਣ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਜਸਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੁਮਰਾਹ ਤੇ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਸਿਰਾਜ। ਸ਼ਮੀ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਮਾਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅੱਜ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਾਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ਮੀ 5 ਵਿਕਟਾਂ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ। ਔਰ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਬੋਲਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਜਸਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਬੁਮਰਾਹ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਬੋਲਿੰਗ ਦੀ, ਤੇ ਸ਼ੁਭਮਨ ਗਿੱਲ ਹੀ ਓਪਨਰ ਹੋਵੇ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ 11 ਦੀ ਟੀਮ 'ਚ ਅੱਜ 4 ਮਿਨੋਰਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਖੇਡ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਬਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਬੇਦੀ ਸੰਸਾਰ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇ, ਉਹ ਨਵਾਬ ਪਟੌਦੀ, ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਅਜ਼ਹਰੁਦੀਨ, ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੱਧ ਸਕਦਾ, ਕੋਈ ਰੁਕਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਵੀ 3 ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਹੋਏ ਆ, 1 ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੋਈ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ। ਹੁਣੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਵਿਰਾਟ ਕੋਹਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਭੁੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਕੋਹਲੀ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਮਨਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਕੋਹਲੀ ਇਸੇ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸਰ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਵੀ ਰਹੇ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ।